And we are live. Hey, and welcome to the channel. Let me also go live quickly on Instagram to make sure that everything is set up properly. So also the people of good Instagram land can follow through. Okay, organ. So hey, and welcome. I'm Noemi, co-founder of Scalewave, and it is an absolute pleasure to say hello this time, first time of the year 2026. We are running again our Amazon PPC live sessions. This session, it is live stream right now from Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and I'm stoked to have you here. We're streaming on different channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, and also YouTube. Purpose of today's session, as all of the sessions, is to answer all your Amazon PPC related questions, and I am really excited about this year and really excited to go through the questions. There are already a few submitted questions that I'm going to answer right away if there's no incoming question within the these sessions are designed to answer first Amazon PPC questions that are strictly focused for beginners. And reason for that is because I know that when I started 5 years ago, it was very important for me to not only be answered the questions that I should be doing next, but also to ask the right question. And what I noticed is that I did not know what the right questions are, so I just asked a ton of questions. So the purpose with this channel is to ensure that I'm going to answer all the questions, because really, if you're not set up well for success, it's going to be very, very hard for you on your own to figure things out. So basically, this is why we are creating these sessions. So I'm going to go quickly through everything, all the submitted questions and also the questions that are coming in right now. Really, really important. You can submit also business-related questions, not only Amazon PPC. However, we're going to favor and prioritize those ones that are Amazon ads related. If you have business questions, feel free to shoot them. If you have beginner questions, hiring, firing, SOPs, systems, leadership questions, feel free to ask them here in the chat. I'm streaming right now from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. All right, so allow me to go into the first question. And before I'm actually going to do that, quick feedback here, because I got some really, really important and nice kind words regards my 2026 plan. Ensure to go through the video. I already posted it on YouTube and as well on my LinkedIn. If you're not sure how to plan for this year, I'm sharing just great tips that I wish I knew back even last year, because it was a huge list of these are the things that I want to achieve. Those are my goals. And I ended up with a lot of things not figuring out, a lot of things that were still on my plate, a lot of frustration just because I did not anticipate in a lot of things. So ensure that for this year, 2026, you're going to be set up for success. All right, we are 3 minutes in and people are joining, especially love that. So hey, once again, for the newcomers, my name is Noemi. I'm the co-founder of Scalewave. We are an agency that are helping brands with Amazon ads, especially helping them scale on Amazon. And today's session is going to be me answering your Amazon PPC questions, so Amazon ads related questions. Feel free to drop all the questions below. So yes, I can see all the messages that are coming in. The very first question: what are the best Amazon ads and PPC tools that actually make a difference in performance? Great question. I love that you put in make a difference in performance. So when it comes down to Amazon ads and Amazon PPC tools, let's tackle first the first one. So what are the best Amazon ads and PPC tools? The first thing what you need to know about Amazon ads are great. They are different categories, so there are different ad types: sponsor product ads, sponsor brand ads, sponsor display, and sponsor TV right now that you can use on Amazon. Now, which is the best one? It really depends on the scope. Why would you be running them? We love especially sponsor product ads because those are the ones that we are seeing that are the most exact and are helping us and the brands that we manage ranking. What ranking basically means is ensuring that if someone is going to buy with a specific keyword a product and that is very relevant for the product, it's going to be organically pushed up on the search volume of like, it's going to be pushed up on the first page of Amazon. So if you can see, sponsored products are my favorite. Sponsored brand ads and sponsored display also are really, really great. Cool thing about them is that you can use specific creatives. Now even sponsored products, you can use creatives, but I'm going to keep this beginner friendly. So sponsor brand and sponsor display ads are also really good, and you can use specific creatives. So if you have a competitive advantage that you can showcase in a video on how your product works and why is it the best product that on the market, those could be great advantages for you. A sponsored TV, we tried this one just a bit less, since this is more streamlined, and for the brands that we're currently managing, they are not using sponsored TV as much. So therefore, even when it comes down to the strategy, whenever we are testing for this, we would not allocate more than 2 to 5% of total ad spend to it. Let me know if that worked. All right. We are talking about Amazon advertising right now, and this is a live stream session. Hey, for everyone joining in. All right, I'm going to take the second question. How do you check if a product is eligible to run Amazon ads on? So the easiest way for you to check if the product is eligible to run on, simply just create one campaign. Ideally, create a sponsored product campaign. The moment that you create it, you will have the option to select the products that you want to advertise. Now you are going to select your product, and it's going to say right away it is eligible or not. That is the quickest way for you to figure it out. Now, if you don't know, or if you're not sure why your product is not eligible, most of the time Amazon will not give us clear reason why, which just super vague. What you can do is you can open up always a case with Amazon Ads support and ask them, hey, I want to run ads for my product. This is what it says, it's ineligible. What is the reason for that? So that would be my very first way of ensuring that the products that we are running ads for are going to become eligible. Let me know if that answered your question. So the channel, it is about Amazon advertising. It is not about dropshipping. Just quick feedback there, because someone just asked what the channel is about. The next question is, what are some advanced bidding strategies that actually work when mastering Amazon PPC? Advanced bidding strategies that actually work when mastering Amazon PPC. I would advise you first, if you don't know yet the basics, I would just skip everything that is advanced. Reason for that is because if I'm going to share with you right now the advanced strategies, you're going to spend a lot of money on things that you don't know how it works, and really important, you don't know how to control. So first off, I'm assuming that right now you understand the basics. So this is why you're asking me about advanced strategies. Now, advanced strategies right now that we are using a lot is placement modifiers. Placement modifiers both for top of search, rest of search, product pages, and also for AMC, Amazon Marketing Cloud audiences. Now, really important when it comes down to placement modifiers is that the one thing that you always must be checking on is that once that you created a campaign, very, very important, if you want to dominate on specific placement modifiers, and let me share also just a bit on how are we dealing with this in ScaleWave. So when we're creating this type of campaigns, the purpose and the strategy behind one campaign is going to be either to protect whatever is ours, so protect our own listings and our own branded keywords, right? The second one is going to be conquer. Now, for that strategy, we are going to target our competitors where we have a competitive advantage against. The third is going to be rank. That strategy is basically for exact match keyword or exact product targeting, where we want to assure that we're going to show up on that product or on that specific keyword. The fourth one is going to be dominate. And this dominate strategy is what you're actually asking on some advanced bidding strategies. What we're doing here, we are playing around with placement modifiers to make sure that we are getting specific outcomes, specific results that we're looking for. So when it comes down to placement modifiers, the strategy behind is that we are showing up for that placement and we're dominating on that placement. Why am I sharing with you this in such detail is because what I'm noticing, especially I got blinded by the fact that I just created a campaign, I think 2 weeks ago or so on, because I love to also, whenever we're taking on a client account, first I love to understand their strategy, what is going on and so on. And then afterwards, I can say, okay, to maybe project coordinators or maybe junior PPC managers, this is what I'm seeing so far. Just double check with me. And if you're also seeing those things, then you can take over the account. So giving you feedback on this, what I noticed on one of the accounts was that I started a campaign, and this was specific placement modifier, and we were testing AMC, so Amazon Marketing Cloud, and we were testing audiences that clicked already on sponsored product ads. We got a false positive, and why I'm sharing this with you is because it's really important. If our strategy for the campaign is to show up on that specific placement for AMC, for people who already clicked within our listing, what can happen is that just because you created a campaign, there's no guarantee that you're going to show up on that specific placement. So double checking now and now knowing better and having a system in place for that, what we're going to do whenever we're going to create our campaign, we're going to make sure first thing that we are logging in and we are opening up the campaign. We are not looking at anything else but bid adjustments. The bid adjustment section is going to show you where exactly does this product is showing up. Is it showing up in our regular placements like the top of search, product pages, or rest of search? Is it showing up in business placements? Because that's also an option that Amazon can choose whenever they want to showcase your product, and you can show up there as well. Or are you showing up in specific audience that you want to target via the AMC feature, right? And what I noticed is in this campaign, it was an AMC campaign. It was supposed to showcase our products for people who already clicked at least once on our sponsored product ad. But what I noticed is that we got a lot of false positive. We got 5-6 orders, something like that, within a day for this specific campaign, for this specific product. And once that I just checked on where did people actually saw our product, it turned out that top of search was where they saw the product and they purchased from. Therefore, I got a false positive on me thinking that if this was an AMC specific targeting campaign and strategy that I applied, that's where I showed up. So this is why I'm saying, and this is why I, again, assuming that you understand already the basics, because your question was what are some advanced bidding strategies that actually work when mastering Amazon PPC. This is my findings. This is something that I, with 5 years experience, I'm like here openly sharing with you. Even me, I can miss this if I'm not clear on the strategy for the campaign. So heads up to you, this is going to be the best way for you whenever you're opening up a campaign that already has a strategy. First, you would do to bid adjustments to see which placement actually does the product shows up. This is very thorough and certainly hope that you found it helpful. All right, next question. I'm also going to drink some tea because my throat is kind of sore. Perfect. By the way, feel free to drop your questions here. I'm going to answer all questions as I'm going to see them, okay? And if they are Amazon PPC related. Next question is, do price discounts really help boost PPC performance for Amazon FBA products? They do, but they are not helping with the Amazon PPC performance. Allow me to explain. When it comes down to Amazon PPC performance, you might believe that just because a product is cheap or is cheaper, or you are dropping the price or testing the price and you're lowering the price, it's going to, again, give you a false positive that actually that works PPC-wise. Now, what we are seeing on our end is that each product break-even ACOS. The break-even ACOS is going to be once that you're going to take out all the cost of goods sold, so everything that is expense for the product, and then you're remaining with the net profit per unit for the product that we would allocate towards advertising. what we're noticing is that even if you're lowering the price of the product, and yes, that might be picking up more sales and so on, overall on a product level, if we had a 50% ACOS, our break-even ACOS, now our ACOS, it will become way lower just because our retail price also changed and it has been lowered. So quick heads up, when it comes down to efficiency, yes, really price discounts can help you with general overall sales. So sales increase, it can help with that. But when it comes down to PPC performance, I would not necessarily say that it's going to help you on the metrics, because metrics are going to worsen rather than improve. So that's what we are seeing on our end. If you have a different experience, or if you have like more insight to it, feel free to name it here and add it here in the chat. But that's what we are seeing on our end. Yes, while it can be a very helpful strategy to rank you organically, what can happen if you are not anymore relevant for the specific keyword? If, let's say, I am your ideal customer and I purchased your product, I was just looking up some candles a few minutes ago, and I was, okay, those are really nice candles, and then I one more listing that was a limited price offer. It was 20% cheaper than the first one. Design was okay, so it was very similar to the first one, so I would have normally bought the second one. But when it comes down to, would I have actually, with the same keyword that I was looking for the specific product, found your product if you didn't had the price discount? Might be that it's not the case. So that's why I'm saying that you should take that as with a grain of salt, rather than ensure that is going to help you with PPC performance. Name an anime character for an edit. Not really relevant to Amazon PPC, but Sailor Moon. I'm going with Sailor Moon. That's the first anime character that I can think of. All right. So the next question is there anything specific to know when running PPC campaigns on Amazon USA? Yes, Amazon USA is going to work exactly the same way how the other marketplaces are running. There's nothing different between the marketplaces. Only limitation what we are seeing on our end. Sometimes it can happen that some countries might not allow specific ad types. Giving you a specific example, for this one client, we help them with 6 marketplaces, something like that. So it was US, it was Germany, it was US, it was Spain, it was Germany, it was France, it was Italy, it was... I'm not remembering the rest. But what we've seen on our end is that for some of them, they had sponsored products enabled, sponsored brands as well, and sponsored display. This was a while back. For other marketplaces, they didn't have it. So I believe that is just marketplace limitation, but the structure and the strategy should be exactly the same. Next question. What should you do if someone modifies your broad match PPC campaigns without explaining why? Did you have a brutal experience with broad match? Yeah, so when it comes down to broad modify, so you have just a bit of feedback on that, because you are asking about broad match. So broad match is one of the ways how you can target when it comes down to your keywords. There is exact match, broad match, phrase match, and it can be also modified broad match. So what does that mean is that before the keyword itself, let's say my keyword, it is iPhone headphones, let's say. And then everything that is iPhone, I want to show off iPhone. I don't want to show off for Samsung, for any other brand. I want to show off for iPhone. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to add in front of iPhone, without any space between, I'm going to add a plus sign. So it's going to be plus and then iPhone. And that is going to allow Amazon to show you for broader search terms, but still all of them must contain iPhone. Let me know if that was also your experience. When it comes down to modified broad match, without explaining it, I just explained it to you. Hope that helps. What exactly is Amazon PPC and how does it work? Love it. By the way, guys, love these questions. I love that most of you are still like totally new to the channel and new to Amazon and so on. Do ask these questions because I love to answer. So what exactly is Amazon PPC and how does it work? Amazon PPC, it is Amazon ads platform and it's allowing brands to sell on Amazon via advertising. The structure, because it says PPC, so it is a pay-per-click model where whoever is going to see your ad, they are going to click within. Now there are also a few occasions and few ad types where they are going to charge you by impressions, so how many people are seeing your ad. However, 90%, even 99%, I would say, it is still based on cost per click. Let me know if that answers your question. I am human. Yes. Okay, next question. We are 20 minutes in. Scotty, are you human? Because you're asking me if I'm. How do I know that you are human? All right. So, question: what does a hybrid Amazon PPC model look like, and why does it work better? Okay. So once again, the question is, what does a hybrid Amazon PPC model look like, and why does it work better? Top of mind right now, I wish I would have more context, but what I'm assuming you're asking about a hybrid model would be where you're going to do optimizations both with the help of a tool and also with manual, like human manual adjustments. So that is something that we would do when it comes down to hybrid model. That's the first thing. And why does it work better? I don't believe it works better. I do have friends and colleagues who have their own software and they are doing amazing job at it, and this is not against whatever they are doing because they are maximizing lot efficiency. This is simply how we operate in Scale. We created our own in-house tools that are technically, it's a hybrid model, but it's not AI execution. Is we are still going to be executing with macros and with formulas and with everything. Still, it's help from Amazon. I mean, still it's help by AI because we put all these tools together with, coding and so on and GPT and so on, but it's human decision. So it's not going to be an automation software decision, but it's going to be our own decision. Let me know if that worked. Or let me know if that answered your question. Amazing. Thank you for subscribing, Tarun. All right. How do sponsor product category campaigns work in Amazon PPC? The question is, how do sponsor product category campaigns work in Amazon PPC? There are not such a things as category campaigns necessarily, but what I do believe you were asking is how would you create campaigns that are going to target specific categories? I do believe that is the question. And in answer to that, you would simply create a sponsored product ad and you have the option to go and select a specific category. Now, I'm not going to say anymore that it should be a manual campaign or like a keyword targeting campaign or a product targeting campaign, because right now Amazon is experimenting with a lot of A/B testing when it comes down to specific categories. So you're not going to anymore target specific products with specific aspects like star rating or specific brand name or how many reviews it has or what is. So Amazon is allowing you now to specifically, whenever you're creating a keyword targeting campaign, to switch and say that you want to have like keywords related to your brand or keywords related to someone else's brand and so on. So that is the gist of it. Basically, these are good campaigns, and when it comes down to where would we structure and where would we place these ones, these would be considered still discovery campaigns, unless you are going in exact match and you're targeting the specific product. Let me know if that helped. I am doing amazing. Hello back. This is Streamline from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Feel free to ask any Amazon PPC questions if you have. Amazon PPC stands for Amazon Advertising or Amazon Pay-per-click. Next question is, what are 3 Amazon PPC mistakes that silently cost sellers thousands every year? Love the question. All right. So the question is, what are 3 Amazon PPC mistakes that silently cost sellers thousands every year? Silently, especially that, and Amazon PPC mistakes. I'm going to answer this question both from the brand owner side and both from the agency owner side, because I started as a brand owner. I ran ads for my own products. And I also am running now an agency for the past 2 plus almost 3 years. One of the most common mistakes is being too close to it and not realizing that by you being too close to it and monitoring it too closely, you're going to miss the obvious. And as a rule of thumb, whenever we are going to take any decision, we are not going to allow to be taken any decision based on too short amount of data and not meaningful data. And by meaningful data, what I mean, if the strategy is creating a sponsored product campaign and that is an exact match, the hard rule for that is that at least we must be generating 20 clicks for us to prove that this is like, we should be also touching the bid and modifying it, either lowering it, either increasing placement, either do something to it, basically. Why I'm saying that is because most of the time it's not the lack of inaction, but too much action when it comes down to managing an account. That's something that is one of the silent killer, I would say, in this case, that could cause you thousands every year. And I'm saying thousands because it can be that you're starting, even if you're starting weekly one campaign and you tested it for $50, $100, and so on. If you're doing this for the whole year, it's going to add up very, very quickly. Second mistake is that you might not be having systems in place, and this is completely normal unless you are a very organized, very system-oriented person. And by a system, what I mean, routines that you're going to do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and even yearly when it comes down to your business, and here specifically when it comes down to Amazon advertising. Why I'm saying that is because most of the time what we're seeing is that now on the agency side, we are obligated because that's our core value. First core value, it is customer obsession. So we are pledging ourselves basically to make sure that we are not missing the obvious, that is a daily, weekly, monthly checks that we have on our to-do list. But if you're the brand owner, what's going to happen is that, especially if you're running your own ads, and again, there's like argument that if you're running your own ads and it's your own brand, you're going to be more careful with it and so on. I would disagree to that. Really depends on who else would run your ads and how are they going to treat it. But what I'm seeing so far when I was running my own ads, and keep in mind that I would say I was still disciplined, because back then when we started 5 years ago and we had to invest $3,000, which was more than our monthly rent on Amazon ads, it was like a lot. So it's a lot of money. Even then I was making mistakes just because my full focus was not on Amazon ads. So getting back to the question one, the second of the most, of the biggest silent mistakes that I'm seeing people who are running Amazon ads are doing is that they don't have a clear system in place when they are going to do their routine checks with optimizations, with negations, with creating a new strategy and let it run, pausing things. So that is something that I'm seeing most often. And then the third thing, the biggest silent mistake, not believing the data, I would say. This is one of the non-obvious ones. And by not believing the data, giving you the most clearest example that I have right now, we took over a brand 2 months ago and we are managing their advertising. And right now, what we noticed is that even if on the advertising side, we are optimizing as much as possible, and we are ensuring that advertising structure is clear and everything, it's running or it's run well and properly, the creatives do not convert. And by creatives, what I mean is that we are in niches that are very, very competitive, supplement niches, healthcare niches. These can go to $8, $9, $10, $50 cost per click. So it takes you that much money for someone to click on the listing. Just check it out. They don't even have to buy the product. And what we noticed is that the third silent killer when it comes down to this, and it's a big mistake that is causing you thousands, is that you hope that advertising alone is going to support your marketing efforts. So advertising alone is not going to support the marketing efforts. And especially now in 2026, this is even more clear. What we're seeing on our end is that just you running traffic to a listing now in 2026 is not giving you the same advantage that it gave you in 2020, even in 2018, when there was not lots of people competing on Amazon and you were just running ads and everything works suddenly, So that's why I'm saying that this is the third silent killer, that it's really taking up lots of thousands of dollars just because you don't have a proof, or you are convinced that whatever you already have, it should be working, and it's not going to work. And the data is not lying to you. It's going to tell you exactly it's not converting, for your most important keywords. Let me know if this was helpful. Yes, I am from Romania. Hello. Yes, my name is Bolojan. All right. Going through more comments. I just got a funny compliment regarding how it's better this than. Okay, never mind. Not the most important. We have to answer the questions coming. Yes, I do have Bali Android. Yes, I am Romanian and I have Romanian ancestry, and my husband is Romanian. Definitely, it's Jean, Bolojan name. And it is, yes, the prime minister is relative. Let's give it at that. Distance relative. I'm not an AI woman. I am a real woman. Hello. So, next question is, what would an Amazon PPC grading checklist include to quickly assess campaign health? Okay, this is a great question. By the way, whenever the questions are coming in, they are not really structured this way. I'm just trying to structure them in such a way that it's going to be also helpful to whoever is going to watch the videos, these videos that are going to be short clips. So if your question is not exactly what you submitted, that's why, because we are purposefully making them sound relevant and be short. So the question is, what would an Amazon PPC grading checklist include to quickly assess campaign health? Love it. Quick checklist to assess campaign health. First checklist. First item on the checklist. Is my ad running or not? Check. If it's running, great. If it's not running, figure out, troubleshoot what is causing it not to run. So that would be the first thing. Second, what is the structure and the strategy behind each campaign? Each campaign is going to have or might have a different strategy. And if it's not aligned with the strategy, whatever is happening within the campaign, again, that is something to troubleshoot. 3, did the campaign run well previously and it's not running anymore well? Define well. What went well? It had more orders, now it has less orders. It had a lower ACOS, now it has higher ACOS. It had less spend, now it has more spend. It had more relevancy last time, now it has less relevancy. So that is the one thing that once that you are going to define, then it's going to be very quickly for you to see, all right, what caused it. And what we love to do here is we are going to analyze the performance of the campaign. It should have been running at least for 2 weeks, so we can clearly confirm if last week, what was the performance, this week, what is the performance, and what is the difference between them. Most of the time, someone just asked about a mistake that silently costs sellers thousands every year. Most of the time, one of the most expensive mistakes is that you might think that you should be optimizing everything to get the cheapest and lowest and most effective ads And what's going to end up is that you're going to lower your bids too much, or lower your bids in general. You're going to show up in a different placement, and that placement is not converting the same way for you as it did for the previous placement. So that might be also my quick to-do list or quick list to see if a campaign is healthy or not. Probably there are many more. Basically, understanding that you created a campaign with a strategy, and if it's within the strategy, it works the way that it's supposed to. If it's not, clearly you should troubleshoot. Let me know if that explained. We are streamlining from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Occasionally, it's good also to take a look at yourself, to see yourself, arrange yourself. All right, next question. What are the most common questions sellers ask during an Amazon PPC Q&A session? Well, welcome. This is one of those things when you are going to find out what are the most common things that people are asking. Let me give you an overall feedback. Since this is my 11th session, today is going to be my 11th session. What I'm noticing a lot is people are asking questions that for them might seem relevant, but they are not. And the reason why I'm saying that is most of the time there's a lot of focus on what's the most important strategy and what is the best tip and trick and whatever I could do for my campaign. And they end up with getting answered the wrong question. And don't get me wrong, because the purpose of these sessions are to answer your questions. I would always step back and first just be sure of the fact that I understand the basics, I understand the fundamentals. When it comes down to basics and fundamentals is understanding how Amazon ads work, and then understanding how do I bid efficiently, and then understanding what is a campaign structure, what should be within my campaign. And then those are things that you are going to master, to be honest, maybe 2 years. It has to be at least what I'm seeing on my end, 2 years. Know for sure that, yeah, I now I know what I'm doing, because beforehand, if there's no guidance on your end, and if you're not watching like this type of session and you're not asking the right questions, what you're going to end up with is false positive that you know what you're doing. You're going to run your own ads. Actually, right after this session, I'm going to meet with someone, and they are also running their own ads. They're spending lots of money on ads, and they're not sure that they're doing the right thing. So that's why I'm saying that when it comes down to asking the right question should be, first off, where does the money go? Where does the money come from? And how profitable am I for that? If you're answered this, and if you know how to answer it and quickly to check, I'm telling you, these are the basics that are going to be helping you to master the craft. All right. So thanks so much for these questions. Amazing. Which country? Yes, so I was saying I've confirmed that we are streamlining from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What is my profession? I'm the co-founder of ScaleWave. We are a marketing agency that are helping brands sell on Amazon. We're helping them with Amazon advertising. So if you're selling on Amazon, basically we are helping you get more sales with advertising. In a nutshell, that's what we are doing. All right, cool. Let's do the next question. Is it a good idea to run multiple ASINs inside the same Amazon PPC campaign? That is the question. So is it a good idea to run multiple ASINs inside the same Amazon PPC campaign? It can be, and it depends on the strategy. So if your strategy is to find data, so you're discovering, and then the strategy is discovery campaigns, then yes, you can add multiple ASINs inside the same Amazon PPC campaign. If your strategy is to sell one specific product and you have your full catalog there and you're just dropping it in, that is not a good idea to do. So basically, if your strategy is to find more data for multiple things, add all those things. If it is to find data for the one thing, add the one thing. I would say that it's more helpful if you're going to, anyhow, you know what is the top 20 seller that are your top performers. Those are the ones that you should be focusing on and spending most of your ads. And then for whatever is the rest, so the rest 80% here, if there are multiple asins, we would just make sure that the bids are very low, because those can trigger lots of irrelevant search terms, especially if you do not have a negative keyword list added to your campaign. Let me know if that helped. All right. How can you legally and ethically spy on competitors' PPC strategies on Amazon? You can legally and ethically do so by using a third-party tool we are using inside our agency. We're using Helium 10 as our third-party tool for this purpose. It's a tool called within Helium 10 Cerebro. That's the one that we're using most often. What strategies work best on Amazon right now? The question is, what strategies work best on Amazon right now? Well, when it comes down to strategies, one of the strategies that is always going to work, especially if you already have brand recognition and you have search volume for your brand keywords, is targeting your own branded name and your own asins. That is one strategy that always works. There are different people in the Amazon space considering that that should not be a go-to strategy. I differ, just because I have enough proof to see that, yeah, that's the strategy is really working. So that is one of the strategies that still work best on Amazon right now in 2026. Another strategy that works best on Amazon is making sure that besides the top performing campaigns that are bringing you most sales, you're also going to test at least 5 to 10% ad spend and get that ad spend towards whatever Amazon is releasing new. For us, for the past 2 months, what we did, we started a lot of AMC campaigns. AMC campaign, it's Amazon Marketing Cloud Platform, and there we're targeting audiences. So we are not targeting products, we're not targeting keywords, we are targeting people who did X specific task. So if they clicked on our ad, if they already purchased, if they did not purchase, so there are several different filters. You can check out Amazon AMC, that's how it's called. But that is also one of the strategies that we're continuously seeing them work. Now, not all strategies are going to work out well, and not all strategies are going to, like some strategies are going to work better than others. So this is why I'm saying that should not be having allocated more than 5 to 10% of your total ad spend for those things. But usually what we're seeing on our end is that just because less people are testing it, you still have a more competitive advantage when it comes down to cost per click. It can still highly be relevant to your category if you're still selling in supplements or health and beauty and so on. The cost per click is still going to be high, but at least you're targeting one specific audience that already showed you interest with whatever you have to sell. So let me know if that helped. Europeans are ready for the future. Amazing. I'm also European. Can you clear over how Amazon PPC works from start to finish? Yeah, so the question is, can you give a clear overview of how Amazon PPC works from start to finish? I already answered this question in more detail, but since you're asking it, basically is Amazon PPC ads. It's the way how you would, it's the marketing place, is the marketing platform for any product selling on Amazon that they can be using in order to make more sales on Amazon with the help of Amazon ads. Amazon PPC stands for Amazon pay-per-click. Clear overview. Basically, you're just going to create an account and then you're going to start your ads within the country that you want to. It's going to usually be within the one country that you're selling in. You can also select multiple countries. I would advise against that. First, run ads in the country that you're selling in, and then try out other countries as well. I would keep it country specific when I'm running ads. And if you would like to have more details, feel free to check out my previous question that was very, very similar to yours. Okay. The question is, greetings from a cold Netherlands with lots of snow. Oh, greetings back to you. I wish I could share my view. I'm in sunny Florida, and here it's like literally very, very sunny. We had also 1 week of cold winter where when it went down to 64 degrees, something like that. And I'm not sure in Celsius, but it lasted for 3 days. And now we're back to 80 degrees. All right, next question. How do you check your Amazon PPC? No, how do you check keyword CPC prices inside Amazon's console? Okay, I think the question is, how do you check keyword CPC prices inside Amazon PPC? That was the question. Let me rephrase it, but because I think I believe what you're looking for. You might be looking for the specific cost per click for each keyword, so you know what to bid. The best answer here that I can give you is that while Amazon gives you suggested bids between the lowest and the highest cost per click for a particular keyword, what we're seeing on our end, that is total BS, maybe it's nicely put, but the cost per click for the actual keyword that you're going to bid on, best thing for you is start a campaign, see how much it costs you, especially if you want to run for specific placements. If you're just brand new and launching your product and you want to get all the eyeballs, top of search is going to be your go-to placement. For top of search, you are going to end up paying sometimes 2 to 3 times more than for other placements. So this is why I'm saying the best for you would be to just go and create a campaign, and maybe even if you have 5 keywords, add them within that campaign so you will know exactly how much do you have to pay for each. That would be my go-to. 2-3 years ago, I would have told you that Amazon suggested bid is the go-to. Unfortunately, that's not really the case. And also, that's also the reason why we're not doing any more estimates when it comes down to how much should you spend on PPC ads to make this amount of sales and like those forecastings. If there's any proof that we got so far in the past 5 years since dealing with Amazon and the cost of Amazon PPC and the cost of CPC itself, is that until we're running the campaign, we don't know. What are some Amazon PPC secrets most sellers don't know about? Amazon PPC secrets is the obvious. You have to pay in order to get data, and you're never going to waste budget on data unless you are just getting the data, the meaningful data that you're looking for, and you don't act on it. I think that is the biggest secret that most sellers don't know. Yeah. Sorry about that, G-Man. If you don't like it, feel free to just leave. This is our Amazon PPC session and it's open for everyone. All right. So I'm not sure why are you saying that I'm AI fake? I'm real human. But that's actually something that would be nice to have an AI doing this, because it would probably take less of my time and effort. Hi, back to you guys. Okay. So I think most important thing is not if I'm AI or not, but am I actually answering the questions that are submitting? Let me see. Is there a way? Delete comment, put user in timeout. I'm putting people in timeout if you don't know. Yeah. If you're not adding value to the chat, guys, you are going to be put in timeout. Sorry about that, but this is really important that the right people are going to get the right message. Okay, again, this is an Amazon PPC session, and it is a live streaming from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Free to submit your Amazon PPC questions, and or if you have business related questions, more than happy to answer. What do you structure Amazon PPC campaigns to keep or how do you structure Amazon PPC? Next question. How do you structure Amazon PPC campaigns to keep ACoS low? To keep ACoS low, first off, while I aim to keep all the campaigns that I'm running as the lowest ACoS, so advertising cost of sales, the first things that I'm going to do is if I have clear data on some things that don't work, so if I know for sure that I already ran ads for this account and I'm seeing that specific keywords are just, they don't convert or they are very irrelevant for my product, I'm going to create a negative keyword list in order to make sure that whenever I'm going to create my new campaigns, those keywords are added. So anything that comes in, it's not going to take away from my ad spend. You know, anything that is irrelevant is not going to take away from my ad spend. That is one of the ways how you can make a campaign be efficient and be the ACoS low as possible without even starting the campaign. So that would be the very first structure. And that structure goes really well for discovery campaigns, especially. When it comes down to keeping ACoS low, I would also question why would we want to keep ACoS low and what is the purpose behind. Keep in mind that there are certain strategies where even the ACoS is high, and I really like, and here shout out to Igor, and I forgot your last name, Igor, but they are from Amazonia, and they're also an Amazon ads agency together with his wife, and they just shared recently a very relevant post that I believe should be heard and should be thought through. And it was something like Amazon ACoS, it was 398%, and leave the campaign on because it works. And that's also something that you should be looking into. Is this a campaign to get profitable sales? Because then the structure of the campaign and the strategy of the campaign is going to be such. But is this campaign to produce more and more sales, and then those sales are going to become profitable more and more once that you're going to rank organically for specific keywords? Technically, that is a low ACoS campaign in happening. So you are already seeing the future of that campaign. ACoS is going to be low because Amazon, it's really looking at relevance. So if you are going to target a specific keyword that is not relevant for your product, no matter what are you doing, no matter how much are you spending on it, Amazon will still know that if I want to sell this black mug, for example, and I'm saying black coffee mug, and I'm going to bid for the keyword iPod case, for example, it's not going to convert because it's not relevant to my product. Therefore, even if I get a lot of clicks, it's not going to convert. So let me know if that helped. I just wanted to make sure that just keeping the ACoS low, by understanding that doesn't mean that that's the end-all be-all strategy, but rather than understanding why are we going to do that. It's interesting. Guys love the chat going. Everyone seems to be talking about if I'm fake AI or not. Okay. 7 more minutes to go. So, and Colina, hola. Cheers. Thank you for your amazing feedback. Appreciate you. All right, so next question is it possible to rank on page 1 organically without running PPC ads? Yes, it is. I also went into very in-depth answer in my last session. It was a very similar question to yours, and they were asking if I'm going to make only organic sales, can I also rank still on Amazon? And the answer is definitely you can rank on Amazon organically. You can use any external traffic to your listing. Again, I really answered very, very detailed to this question. So please make sure that you're going to check out that answer. Next question is, why does Amazon PPC sometimes stop performing well after a restock? Basically, it is because always whenever you're making one sale, you're proving Amazon that you're relevant to whatever a customer was searching at the time, and you fit within whatever their search was. So when it comes down to running out of stock, what is happening is that you again have to warm up the same, the same trust that you previously had. And if you're thinking this way, while this is all based on algorithm and like AI and no warm feelings, there, if you're thinking this way, it's very similar to a relationship. Whenever you are close to someone and then you are going away, and then if you're not talking to that person anymore, it's going to create a gap, because they achieve new things, you achieve new things, they had their new goals, you had your new goals, they had their new experiences, you had your new experiences. And if there was not a connect where you synced basically to see, hey, this is still my friend, this is still listening to me, they are still on the same page, we are still sharing the same values, the same goals, and so on, what's going to naturally happen if you're thinking this way is that you're going to set yourself apart, and you, once that you're back, you would have to again gain back trust. They're very, very rare the relationships where it's like, okay, I can take it right away from wherever I left it. And we're not talking about that. We are just making right now a case on why would, whenever you're going out of stock, Amazon would treat your product as new, simply because lack of relevance. Let me know if that helped. How do you set up a retargeting campaign on Amazon? So the question is, how do you set up a retargeting campaign on Amazon? The way how you would set this up, especially you can set this up in sponsored display ads. You would go and create a sponsored display ad, and you can retarget or remarket to people who already took one specific action. Basically, people who already purchased your product or clicked on the product, and so on. Now, that was only available for sponsored display ads. Right now, in 2026, we also see via the AMC experience, so the Amazon Marketing Cloud platform, is that it's going to allow you to do similar things for sponsored product ads. And whoever clicked at least once on the listing or purchased once or so on, you can also showcase them the listing and hope that they are going to be converting again in customer. So that would be the way how you are going to go about it. Either you would create retargeting campaign when it comes down to the category itself and people who interacted exactly with your product on the sponsored display ads type. Either you would go for sponsored products, but if you want to use the AMC feature, this is something that you would have to set up. When it comes down to sponsored display, that's already within the campaign. You just have to pre-select it. For the sponsored product and AMC, when you're going to use Amazon's specific audiences, for that you have to manually set up the AMC campaign itself and then add that within the campaign that you created. So it's more work around it, but definitely you can try this out also with sponsored product ads. Okay. Guys, I love how everyone's having fun. It's like, no one's really like, oh, still Amazon related. But at least you are having fun. We have 3 more minutes, and I'm going to answer the questions that already have been submitted. So let me see. The next question is, what is an async catch-all campaign in Amazon PPC, and when should you use one? A catch-all campaign, not sure who named this catch-all campaign. Basically, what you would do is you would allow either all products to be within one campaign. In this case, you would add your whole catalog within the one campaign. Either you would allow all ad groups from auto campaigns like loose match, close match, substitutes, and also complements to run within the same campaign. Right now, if I'm thinking through this, because that's a really good question, catch all can also be considered, if I'm thinking this through, if you would be running both exact match, broad match, phrase match at the same time. That would also be considered a catch-all campaign. Now, the idea with the catch-all campaign is that you're going to bring cheap sales. So whichever strategy would you be using, either you would be adding multiple asins, so your whole catalog within one campaign, either you would be adding multiple targetings like in Automatch. Either you would be adding multiple targetings in a manual targeting. The end goal of the campaign is that it's going to generate cheap sales. If it's not generating cheap sales, technically it's not a catch-all campaign. 1 more minute. Right, last question. I can answer it quickly. How does PPC work for Amazon Books, and how should campaigns be structured? Amazon PPC for Amazon Books, it works exactly the same way how it works for the non-digital products or for the rest of the products. The only catch there is that sometimes what it can be that you are going to sell not only the physical product, so not only the book, but you might be selling in an e-version, so a Kindle version or audio or so on, and then the profit margin on those might be lower, and then also there's royalty involved. But when it comes down to strictly the campaign structure, there's no difference between campaign structure at all. Alrighty, I cannot see any more questions here, and also we hit the 2 o'clock time frame. Guys, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate a lot of the questions, and I see that some of you actually had fun within this chat. Besides the Amazon PPC, strictly related Amazon PPC questions, so it's funny. However, have an amazing day ahead. Again, this is Noemi streaming, or I was streaming from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Man, if everyone is going to say that this is an AI, I'm like freaking, how does AI makes this many mistakes? So literally, just rewatch the session. You see me. Bye, AI. Bye to you back. All right, take care, guys. Have an amazing day ahead. And if you actually been interested in these topics in Amazon PPC and in Amazon in general, feel free to check out our website, scalewave.io, where you can find out more about us. And if you enjoyed this session, make sure that you're going to also chime in next week on Tuesday when I will be back at 1 p.m. EST time. Take care. Bye.